Hey guys, Brian O'Day. I'm one of the pastors of Pillar Church of Jacksonville, also executive director of Praetorian Project. I'm joined today by,
Jonathan Davis, one of the pastors of Pillar Church of Jacksonville.
and we are not in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Not.
Where are we today, JD?
We are this is Tacoma, Washington.
Washington State. Why are we in Tacoma, Washington?
We are here on a vision trip to see about planting a Praetorian Project church in around Fort Lewis McChord, or the greater Washington, Seattle area. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so our strategy right now is trying to get in some of these areas of the U.S. military where there's big pockets of service members and big pockets of military veterans in the area to continue to advance the gospel by multiplying churches. And so we're desiring to see a multiplying church here in the Northwest Washington area. So we're here on a vision trip. There's 4 of us that have been driving around for the past few days.
Yeah.
And what are some things that have kind of stood out to you as we've met, 20, 30 people, pastors, leaders, church planting catalysts in the area, and we've traveled, honestly, a lot of miles around here. But what's kind of stood out to you?
Yeah, I think 2 things have stood out most above everything else is the receptivity to us being here. Right. And a desire for us to be reaching the military members here as well as this community by all the people you just mentioned, pastors. Pastors are not intimidated by us coming here. Don't seem to be. Certainly church planting catalyst and all those folks you mentioned previously are just really excited that we're here and wanting to come here and desiring. So they're doing everything they can to make sure that we get here. So they're doing their part.
Yeah, there's been some great partnerships forming already with church planting catalysts, directors of missions, pastors in the area that have been praying for churches that are focused on the military community here. And so that's been great. Yeah, the receptivity.
Yeah.
What else has stood out to you?
The other one is the need. Everywhere we've been, every meeting we've been here 3 days. Every day we've been here, it's been meeting after meeting after meeting. We'll have several meetings again today. And all of them are just basically telling us there is a need here and y'all need to come. And with that mindset of multiplication, because we need more churches and we need this, everybody that we've talked to said this is now one of the most unreached areas in the U.S., the continental U.S. And so we want to, certainly feel the weight of wanting to jump in and plant churches here and just as quickly as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been struck by the geography of the area. We came out here just knowing, I've never been here before, and knowing that there's lots of military installations here and just realizing how spread out they are.
Yeah.
We have traveled a lot of hours in what on a map as I was sitting in North Carolina looked like a pretty small place, but just the water, the sound, there's water everywhere.
Yeah.
And so the bridges and ferries and how you have to get from one base to another base and everything else is just that's really stood out to me. So we don't just need one church here, we need a multiplying church that's really going to reach this region with the gospel
and be here for a really long time.
It's
a hard place. One thing that we've heard over and over again as we've been received well is y'all need to come here and you need to plan. It's going to take a little while to get something going.
Get here fast, but plan to stay for a long time is kind of what they've said.
Yeah. People have a tendency to quit early and leave because of difficulty. But I mean, I think that we're used to that kind of difficulty, but it is going to take somebody coming and staying for a long time and ministering for a while here.
Yeah. The other thing that has struck me that I don't think I appreciated before I got here is how the nations are in Washington State generally, and this section in this region of Washington State specifically. The guy we're staying with, who's a church planting catalyst with Northwest Baptist, he was driving around his neighborhood and saying all the different nations that were represented in his neighborhood. And the nations are here. And so as Christians and as churches, we should always have the nations on our mind. We're told by Jesus to make disciples of all nations. And so this is just a a really pronounced area where the nations are coming and we can interact with the nations.
Yeah, he gave us a statistic about the high school that his kids were in,
Yeah.
and it was unreal. I think white was 7%, Hispanic was 9%, and then a conglomerate. I think 60 spoken languages in one high school. Could you imagine, like,
Right.
dealing with that?
Yeah.
But that kind of gives you a context for
Yeah.
the third. I think he said the third most diverse high school in the country.
Right.
So
Yeah. And so, yeah, interacting with the nations. And so, I just encourage you, would you pray with us and for us for a healthy, multiplying church here in the Northwest Washington area, focused on the military communities that are here? Just pray with us for that. And I just want to say, if you're a member of one of our churches in the Praetorian Project, and
Yeah.
I just pray that you would consider who the planters will be, who will be the planting pastors for this work. That's one of our big prayers. And I just encourage you to join us in that prayer. Stop right now before you go on with the rest of your day and pray for this work. I love you guys.